What's up, Minions and Mortals? This is Fang. It's 2020, and the music industry continues to change, and if you don't change with it, your band is going to be left in the dust. Oh dear me, my band is ruined, whatever shall I do? Well, don't you worry, because good old Uncle Fang went to NAMM, the National Association of Music Merchants show in Anaheim, California. And NAMM is one of the best opportunities to talk to people who are on the absolute cutting edge of the industry about what bands can do to stand out from the crowd in 2020. Before we get to these awesome interviews, two quick things. First, I got so much footage that I had to drastically cut down these interviews in order to fit it into 20 minutes. If you want to see all of the uncut, unfiltered interviews, go to patreon.com/Swords of the Trident and just pledge $1. Not only do you get this complete uncut video, which is about an hour long, but you also get Fang's Metal Beer Club episodes, you get acoustic covers, you get early access to videos, and 20 interviews that are completely uncut from the Between the Waves Festival, all for just $1. Welcome, one and all, to Crazy Fang's House of Deals. These content prices are so low, we're practically giving it away. How do we do it? Volume. Second, my admission to NAMM this year was sponsored by BroadJam.com. They're a music placement company right here out of Madison, Wisconsin. They place music in TV and films and videos. They're not sponsoring this video, but they helped me get into NAMM. So I want to give a shout out to them. And if you're thinking about placing your music, if you want to get your music shown in movies and TVs and films and commercials, go to broadjam.com and sign up. We got a placement on Lithuanian soccer for some reason, and it totally paid for the admission fee. All right, let's pack our bags, open up this fire portal, and check out the amazing interviews. So we all know what the dream of being a rock star looked like in the 80s. Playing the stadiums full of people, making millions of dollars, a gold-plated Shark Tank bar, driving your Ferrari into the hotel pool. But I'm interested in how that's changed. What does being a rock star look like in today's age?
I'll tell you one really good dream that I share with my friend Dave, boy in a band. We just don't feel good about like trashing our hotel room or whatever, but we'd still love to take part in that. So maybe instead of throwing a TV out the window, we'll unplug it and bring it down the elevator and just gently place it on the sidewalk, and then we'll bring it back. But I don't know what the dream is. I think everyone gets to make their own dream more than ever now. Because for me, like I stopped playing live 2 years ago, and I'm doing better than ever, where I know a lot of people like that is their bread and butter, but I think there are ways to figure out like how exactly do you want to balance your time? What are the types of projects that you want to be doing? I think all of us these days wear a million different hats, but I think, you know, as you hone your craft and your brand, you can really kind of build the thing that you want rather than it being like, well, the only way to make money is to like sign this deal, tour for 8 months out of the year, and like there's so much more flexibility now, I think, if you're open-minded.
I think it's actually more feasible than ever to be a musician that makes their money off of their art, actually. True. But a regular salary. Like, it is oversaturated. It's almost more like it went from like capitalized to socialized or something. Like all the income is now distributed among a bunch of musicians instead of like the top 1%.
And that's why like we're locked in our rooms, just practicing, and we're, you know, recording and doing as much as we can for ourselves to promote ourselves, you know?
The bands that did all those wild things and messed up the hotel room and did all that, they got there. They weren't doing that at the start. They worked hard and got to a position where they could abuse their power because the label would pay it all for them. That whole rock star lifestyle is gone. Professionalism is the new sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
What's considered making it is when you not have a Lambo to smash, but, you know, just being able to pay your bills and live very comfortably doing what we do. That's like, to me, the greatest blessing you can have in this industry, you know?
Yeah, fuck a Ferrari, dude. I want a 95 Ford Escort, you know, with a shitty muffler. But as long as, you know, I'm doing something fun to pay for that, like, I think that's living the dream right there, you know?
There's a new rock star dream, and that, I think, just has more to do with celebrity. The whole idea of being a celebrity just for being the sake of being famous, right? It's not necessarily that you have to be really good at anything. That has become sort of a new rock star goal.
Making any sort of money, possibly?
It's all about getting those subs. You gotta hit Can I say bad words?
Oh yeah. It's YouTube. You
Hey,
whatever you want.
you gotta hit that freaking subscribe button. It's 2 p.m. Friday NAMM.
Yeah.
I've been drinking. Yeah, now it's literally just being able to do it and not go broke, like break even. If you can profit,
That's even better.
Oh my God.
Right now, rock's just not in the mainstream. It's a tough go. And so these young bands trying to be metal stars, it's a lot of work. You have to think outside the box, and it's totally different than it was.
Oh, so we all have a plethora of entertainment options just basically sitting in our pants. And I know how that sounds, but you can pull out your phone and go on to YouTube or Netflix, or you can start binge watching a show right now. How do bands in 2020 cut through that noise and gain attention?
I'm all about short, sweet stuff. Get right to the point in the beginning of your video. Get right to the action. If you don't get to the action, kind of let people know what they're going to tune into.
So if you can't like do something in the minute to hook the audience, they're not going to listen to it because it's almost like you're flipping through channels, you know, what's on next, what's on next.
The more you can be yourself, really. Like if you can really discover yourself as an artist.
Just you being yourself, actually. I know a lot of very like nerdy people. I think the things that I talk about are nerdy, that have really successful YouTube channels and things. So if you are just yourself, and even if you're like super dorky, just go full in on it. I think if you go full in on whatever you are, I think that's honestly your best chance.
Straight up.
Like go all in. If you're weird, just go all in on
Yeah.
it. Don't even hold back.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all have to be entertainers. And it's maybe not like the answer that I even want to hear, because, you know, we really do want it to be about the music, and it usually is first and foremost. But when you start talking about like, well, I would like to build an audience, like it's fun to make music, I love writing and recording and playing, whatever, but like if I want to make this sustainable, well, now we're talking about capitalism. It's about finding what is a strong but also true brand for your project.
Yeah, there's so much competing space for everybody's time. So you've got to have something unique and special, because you know, attention can be pulled all sorts of different ways. So if you want to make sure that people's attention is on you, get a gimmick. And you know, people are shy away from gimmicks. They're like, oh, roll their eyes at that. But you think about bands that have done really, really well over the last little while. They've all got like a theme, or they dress up, or they've got, you know, some sort of different sort of angle to what they're doing to make you go, shit, who are these guys? They look like idiots. Their songs are all about, you know, they might be a drinking band or a pirate band or something nonsense, but you've got to give yourself a good name, a good theme, and if you dress up and you sort of play that gimmick, you'll be more likely to be noticed, and you can push yourself to a level where you can sort of dial that backwards again once you've gained that momentum. Your audience is there to have fun, they want to have a good time. Do everything you possibly can to make the show entertaining, and people will pick up on it and come back to it time and time again. I know this from experience. Have fun, and don't take yourself so fucking seriously.
A band being able to distinguish itself from other bands is probably one of the most important things that they can do. You got to look at what else is out there. You don't know, you know, you can't figure out how to stand out if you don't know what you're standing out from. So I think being really, really familiar with the other bands in your scene or the other bands in the genre, what the trends are, and then deliberately steer away from some of those things.
It's an expensive business, so you need to raise money too to get your name out there. I mean, it's marketing. It really is a business. I know Nickelback. Everybody hates Nickelback, but they became quite big because one guy was the manager, one guy was the publicist, one guy was the promo guy, and that sort of thing. Each guy has a hat to wear.
A bunch of bands nowadays are trying to find success via YouTube. So what kind of advice would you give to a band to grow their audience there?
For a band, you may actually have to change your channel not to just be your videos. So a really good example is like Nick Nocturnal. I think that's a great example. He is a very entertaining YouTuber. He does a lot of covers, but he puts out a lot of his own originals as well. Nick Nocturnal makes like reaction videos. He's doing like little sketches. He's doing covers. So I mean, he's like diversified his content a lot to draw people to his original music, and it's worked. Even when my friends and people I've known have done this stuff to the letter, if the music wasn't there, it still didn't work.
Yeah.
So you still have to write really good music.
The stuff that's gonna just, be more favored by the algorithm, the stuff that's gonna be more intriguing for someone who has no idea who you are to click on, that's gonna be stuff where you're providing value. That's gonna be like a tutorial, that's gonna be like showing, the behind the scenes of like day in the life of like this kind of creator. Often we still we really want to be making music, but if you're just like, here's, me playing my song, there's no reason why it's going to show up in a search or in someone's feed. Yeah.
Again, you would still have to have a USP of some kind. You'd have to be individual enough that you're cutting through what everyone else is doing, because there's so many fantastic musicians online.
My whole thing is just read what the algorithms are doing, While we're making this video right now in 2020, in 2021 it could be totally different, but as of right now, I think YouTube is favoring longer videos. So back when I was making shorter videos, it was easy, but if you make longer videos and you can have people tune in longer, that's the secret to YouTube, to young bands.
I think one of the most important parts of that is having an element of storytelling. It's not just, hey, we got a show tonight, come out and see it. It's like, hey, we're playing in a new place tonight, and last year we were really working towards this. We were really hoping we could play in that place, and tonight we're finally going to do it. We would love to see you guys out there. So there's a little bit of a plot line, right? There's a little bit of a storyline there. And I think that stuff is super valuable when you're doing videos, YouTube, or any kind of content with a band like that.
Metal guys swear by albums. Rappers only make mixtapes and singles. So what is the better option in 2020? Should we go the album route? Should we go the single route? And what are some of the pros and cons to that?
It really depends on your situation. If you're already established in a band and you're not really releasing anything, it's been like a year or two, or maybe even more, like my band, I would say it would be beneficial to do an individual song, release one per month, every other month, just to get it out there, so people know that you're still out there, as a band or as an active artist.
If you're unsigned or your label is more progressive, I would definitely say EPs and singles.
I would release not only singles, for example, every month throughout the year, and then release the album at the end of the year.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
You know what I'm saying?
So
you ride the wave until you just crash it,
Again, this is another answer that I don't want to be the answer, but I think it's singles all the way. I'm such an album guy. That's how I grew up. I love the longer format of it, the journey of it, and the idea that there's this cohesive relationship between different tracks. But it's just not how people are listening, and it's a way slower way to do PR.
People consume media a lot quicker now. An album every few years is too long a wait for people, whereas shorter, snackier things more often works better. I would probably go down the EP approach and do 4 really solid songs. Spend as much as I would on a full-length album just on 4 songs, and that gets you better quality recordings, better quality, you can spend more money on music videos then, and just really get, a much smaller product, much more finely polished. And I think that would probably do better in this day and age, in this climate, but it's still a bit contentious, I'm not sure.
If it were up to me, single, because you look at it like this. This is how the internet works. You put out something and you get that one good blast. Hopefully your album gets pushed. Hopefully that guy you want to hear it hears it. Hopefully Spotify picks it up, whatever. You get that one shot. If you're doing singles, you get one shot, another shot, another shot. So you essentially, out of a 10-song album, you get 10 tries to get someone's attention rather than just one big one.
You should release singles. You should release an album's worth of singles, and then at the end of that, put together a physical release that's the album, and then you release that. As far as getting the music out there, I think you're gonna get a lot more traction releasing one single at a time, because it keeps you in the news cycle, and that's it's a necessary thing these days.
So I'm wondering if anybody has their signature tips that they love telling other bands, other creators, other musicians.
Don't feel intimidated by other players or other bands, because everybody has their own style and they have their own place as far as technicality. And I feel like at this point, everyone's trying to achieve like godlike skills for guitar, or I mean any instrument in general, to the point where, you know, you're getting the whole fake guitar playing and fake drumming videos popping up, and, you know, sped up. To me, it's just, don't worry about like what everyone else is doing. I mean, do it to a certain extent, because you do have to kind of have a friendly competition with, you know, other bands, just to show that you're a great band yourself, but not necessarily like worrying too much like, oh, you're not that great of a guitar player, so you have to be at this type of level for playing. You know, it's just do what makes you feel good about yourself.
You don't have to be the first to do something, you just have to be the best to do something. So, you know, everyone's looking for, oh, doing something new and something unique, but new and unique doesn't always mean good. It doesn't always mean that people will be attracted to it. So you don't have to, and if you're struggling going, oh, none of the stuff that I'm doing is brand new, it's all sort of rehashed of, you know, things before, that's fine. As long as you're taking those elements and doing it better than anyone else, then you're already winning.
Practice your ass off, and when you think you're good enough, you're not. Just keep practicing, because you'll never hit that, you know, just stay on your chops, you know what I mean? You walk away from it for just a little bit, and it's like, you know, so for me, musicianship has always been number one, like just practice like an insane amount.
If it's not fun, stop doing it. Like, if fun should be number one, like when you were a little kid and you wanted to like play guitar and you looked up to people, you just wanted to be having fun on stage with your friends. So like, try to continue to make it fun. And also wet wipes. Wet wipes are the most amazing thing on the road. Be nice to everyone. You know, there's Korean children that are 7 years old, they can play guitar better than you. You're not that cool. So yeah, wet wipe, seatbelt, have fun, be nice. There you go.
Done is better than perfect. When you can't finish something and put it out there, you miss out on so much. You have to have the failure out there in order to learn from it and change things and move forward and grow as a musician and as an entertainer and as a person.
Have a good sounding record. Have a good time. And just fucking do it. If you think that this is just like what you're meant to do, just fucking do it.
On this channel, we proudly DIY everything. So I wanted to know, what is one thing that every band should DIY at least once?
They should DIY a tour. That's what I mean, that could be a disaster, but I think if you DIY it, you see, you actually could see like how difficult it is, so you kind of respect the people who do book shows, that are booking agents, you know.
On every level, I've always just wanted to understand everything that's going on and like try it myself. You know, I meet people who are like, I've got this great idea for a YouTube channel, and you know, they'll tell me, I remember this specific conversation I had with someone, I was like, that is a great concept, no one's doing it, it would blow up. And they're like, yeah, all I gotta do is just wait until I meet a person who knows how to edit video and is like down to partner with me. And I'm like, you're never going anywhere, because if you just like, video editing's not hard, we all like learn how to do it. And you could make this show tomorrow, but yeah, I think that it's almost like the work ethic more than what specifically you would DIY that I would say is important.
Yeah, I'd say run a show and then see what it's really like for the people you're working with. Because, you know, as bands, you'll turn up to a show and you'll give the promoter disrespect. You know, you'll not look at the sound guy with any respect either. Quite a lot of the time, you're like, oh, these people are just there, we are the stars. Try being them. Try being the promoter putting on a show, try being the sound guy at the desk, try and being the lighting engineer, flashing the flashies, because you'll suddenly realize these people know a fuck lot more than you do, and you know, they deserve a lot more respect.
Make your own videos. I know so many people, oh, I'm not good at video editing, I'm not good at this, or I'm not good. Just pull out your cell phone. It's all you need these days. Like 99% of my videos are done on a cell phone. I just bring in the camera and the whole thing, too much work.
You don't need to pay some dickhead to get your vision, you know, unless you're sitting there like while they're editing and you're over the shoulder to do this, do that. Learn how to video edit it, learn how to make your own content, learn how to record your own music. Like, yeah, you should DIY as much things as possible, because that's just gonna be less overhead. Don't spend a bunch of money on stuff you can learn how to do with fucking YouTube.
So there you go. Tons of amazing tips from tons of amazing people. Now, go forward in 2020 and put those tips to work. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and these tips are helping your band, Go to patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. If you pledge just $1, you get to see all of the interviews completely uncut, as well as lots of other prizes. Fang's Metal Beer Club, acoustic MP3s, all sorts of amazing stuff. Heck, we even have like 20 plus interviews from the Between the Waves Festival here in Madison with some of the best and brightest minds in the music industry. Go check it out, patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Once more, I want to thank broadjam.com for allowing me to go to NAMM this year. If you want to submit your music to TV, film, commercials, all the above, go to broadjam.com, sign up, and start submitting today. We will see you next time, and as always, stay metal.
So my name is Andrew Huang, Huang. Type it into YouTube or youtube.com/Andrew Huang. That's the main thing. And I'm on Instagram as Andrew is Music and Twitter, Andrew Huang. I got an online course, learnmonthly.com/Andrew, and that's just like my entire music making process. So like writing, recording, mixing, mastering. It's a lot of fun.
I'm Colin Scott from CSGuitars. You can find me at youtube.com/CSGuitars. I do the science and technology of guitar and music related equipment. So if you want to learn how things work, if you're a bit confused and you're too afraid to ask certain questions, I can be there to help you.
Hey guys, I'm Gabriel Guardian from the band Immortal Guardian. You can follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, at Immortal Guardian. See you guys on the web.
Right there, right